What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Party Chat Sports. Steelers Nation, here we go. Playoff football on the horizon. Tomorrow in Buffalo, winter weather everywhere. I'm looking outside my window right now, and it's absolutely dreadful out there. It's snowing sideways, 50-mile-an-hour winds. I'm not going out there tomorrow or today, but here we go. Steelers, they squeak in. I'm just going to talk a little bit today about, that playoff preview matchup here with the Buffalo Bills on Sunday, and a little bit of how, where this team's at and how they got here. I mean, just taking a look at this team, man, they're playing hot. And Mike Tomlin, after all the criticism he got throughout the year, and I think rightfully so. I don't think, you can't just be nonchalant about when your team is failing to succeed, but he never let that building give up on what their goals were and what they were trying to do, and put Mason Rudolph in the lineup there for Trubisky, and he just has been playing out of his mind, truthfully, and they're riding with the hot hand, keeping him in that lineup here into the playoffs here week one, and that's great. He's been doing what he's needed to do. He hasn't tried to just sling it like Trubisky did. I mean, gosh, that guy's got to go. But anyways, this team, they have their formula. They have their formula to win. It's pound the rock, run the ball for nearly 200 yards. Mason with an electric lightning strike of a long touchdown play if needed, and in good defense, great defense even, to win that game. And Sunday, it's shaping up to be a game like that. They got the ingredients here going into Buffalo. It's going to be blizzard conditions, white out on the field practically. But that's why you got a guy like Najee Harris. I mean, you got a 240-pound running back, so you can play in these games, and you can just give him the ball 30 times, and he's just going to just burst through that defense. He's just going to keep beating them down. We'll see where this passing game leads, but I don't know how much either team's going to be able to pass the ball with 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts. I mean, we'll see. Probably said the same thing when they were playing in freezing rain conditions in Baltimore, and they made it happen, but it's a little bit different. But we'll see, and that's been the good thing about this passing offense is a lot of these long touchdowns have been yards after the catch. We haven't had to rely on a deep bomb. You get it to Pickens on a slant, you get it to Deontay on a deeper slant, and they take it to the house. So that's those opportunities that open up when that running game starts to become as potent as it is. They got to bring safeties down, stack the box, and you're going to have matchups on the outside. So again, we'll see exactly how relevant the passing game will be, but this game could shape up to be like a 14-10, 17-14. If maybe a couple missed field goals or extra points in here too, because it's going to be very, very windy in this football game. So I'm just where we were last time we were talking Steelers on this channel. A lot of mishappiness or unhappiness, discontent, whatever word you want to use, but they come around and they beat the Bengals. That's a little bit of a tongue twister at home there. Blow them out. Played great football. Led that into Seattle. Going into Seattle, a place they hadn't won in 53 years. Win that game. Just was solid play all the way around. And then week 18, you go into Baltimore against backups, factually. But you win that game when you need to as well. That's a game in the past that the Steelers have lost before. In week 17 at the time, Baltimore backups, rainy conditions, 2019, game they needed to win to get in, RG3 runs all over them. So the team did what they needed to do, and they got into the dance. And I think, credit can't be given enough to Mike Tomlin for making those guys play hard. And I will say, were those games that they should have won? Absolutely. And maybe you can argue Seattle, maybe they shouldn't have won against Seattle, but certainly the other two they should have. But that's the thing that they weren't doing. They weren't winning the games they should have. So, they got in. And now they're going up against a team that's equally as hot, Buffalo. And I was watching this Buffalo-Miami game on the Sunday night, I believe it was, and I wanted Miami to win because I did not want to go into Buffalo because I think that's the hottest team in the playoffs right now. They've just won 5 straight. I've said a lot of bad things about Buffalo on here, and so I'm gonna try to retract a lot of that bad karma, because man, Buffalo is playing out of their minds right now. Josh Allen is kind of scattershot with slinging it, and the turnovers with the explosive plays. So we'll see what version of Josh Allen shows up, but in a wintry condition game, this might be like the Cam Newton version of Josh Allen, where he's just going to be running all over the place. So it's going to be up to the Steelers defense to stop that, and then hopefully the offense can just run its way down the field a couple of times and put up some points. Kind of like back in the day, Steelers played a game in Buffalo. They had the Killer Bees, Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown. On this day, Big Ben threw for 3 interceptions, but Le'Veon had 200 plus on the ground, and he had 3 touchdowns on the ground, and Steelers won that game 27-20. So that's the type of game from the running perspective that we need to see. We do not need to see Mason throw 3 interceptions. He might be yanked if he throws 3 interceptions, but yeah, I mean that's the formula for this weekend. You need good offense, you need great defense, which is going to be a little bit harder because TJ Watt isn't playing. I harken back to the Steelers' record without TJ Watt as being 1-10. They're probably going to lose just from that simple fact. Now, granted, those 11 games, right? The guys that they had replacing TJ when he got hurt were names like Taco Charlton, DeMarvin Leal, and just guys you never heard of, except for Taco because he was taken above TJ Watt. Anyways, those were guys that were replacing him. But right now they got Marcus Golden and Nick Herbig. So Nick Herbig, the rookie, Marcus Golden, the vet. Both guys playing just immaculate football on a per snap basis. I believe those two have combined for 7 sacks this year. But given the amount of snaps that they've played, it's like more sacks per snap than Highsmith or TJ. So those guys, in the limited amount of time that they've had, have played very, very well. And I, just hoping that they can repeat that kind of success against Buffalo, just in a little bit of full-time manner. That's the strongest position group that the Steelers have had this year is their outside linebackers, and so relying on that depth and hopefully some of those that young kid out of Wisconsin, Nick Herbig, makes a couple more splash plays like he did in Seattle. That would be awesome. I mean, you're going to need one of those, right? You're going to need to have Josh Allen turn the ball over in Buffalo territory to get a little bit of a better opportunity to get some points. I mean, I think that's going to be essential if the Steelers want to win this game. You can't let them drive down the field, or punts are great, but it's going to be hard for your offense to drive down the field, because the flip side of this coin is the Buffalo defense has been playing outstanding. They've been one of the best in their 5-game winning streak as well. So again, you got 2 teams coming off of winning streaks. Buffalo's won 5 straight. Steelers have won 3 straight. Both teams haven't lost in over a month. But one of them is going to have to lose on Sunday. And so I'm excited. I haven't, watched the last Steelers playoff game I watched was that Browns game in 2020, and there were a lot of memes about that, and just not a good time, not a good place to be. So hopefully, we'll rewrite that script a little bit, and at least the most recent playoff game will be this one, and hopefully it's a little bit of a neater matchup. First snap of the game doesn't go into the end zone would be great. But yeah, credit to this team, man. They fought back. They made it into the dance. I mean, that's all you can do is get into the tournament, and you play your heart out. You see how far it takes you. And then, we'll answer some off-season questions after that. Right now, again, Kenny's the backup. Mason's number 1. Kenny's still listed as a starter on the depth chart that Mike Tomlin reports every week, but I think that's a little bit more of a saving face type thing. I get both sides of this story. You ride the hot hand. Mason's come in and he's been the best quarterback the last 3 weeks. I mean, just look at the numbers. He has been the hottest quarterback the last 3 weeks. Maybe not named Josh Allen, even though Josh Allen's thrown a lot of interceptions. So even that's a toss-up that Mason Rudolph probably wins. So you play that guy. He got you here. Kenny also got you here. He went 7-4 on the season. There was one quarterback that didn't win a game this year. That's Mitch Trubisky. He was 0-3 basically in the games he played a majority of. So that, I mean, we know the problem. So you played this game. Mason's your guy. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to matter who the quarterback is. It's going to matter if your running game can get going. That's the Steelers' formula. They're not going to be able to rely on passing the ball 50 times in a game to win in the playoffs. That's just simply not how this team's built. This team is built behind their first-round running back that they drafted and their undrafted running back who's explosive as hell. So that and the defense, and on the defensive side of the ball, you are getting Minka back. You're getting a couple of those safeties back, DeMonte Casey, Trenton Thompson, guys that have played very well this year in addition to Miles Jack and Eric Rowe that call it from the practice squad, but they're veteran guys that have made so many plays the last 3 weeks for this defense. You got to stand strong on defense. You got to. There's just no other way about it. You can't let James Cook carve you up. You can't let Josh Allen carve you up. I mean, he's going to get his, but you also got to, if he's going to get his, you got to get yours on Josh Allen, and that's just the way it's going to go. And then you got to play mistake-free football on the offense, and you got to score some points, and that's going to be a very tough task. I'm going to play the emotional hedge and say that Buffalo wins. In this whiteout conditions, though, maybe Steelers get to wear white jerseys, and they take advantage of that. Buffalo gets to choose, so maybe they may choose to wear all white jerseys. I don't know, or maybe the NFL mix of both wear color. Color on color matchup would be kind of cool in the playoffs, but we'll see. I'm excited. It should be a really good game. A lot of the national media is not focused on this one. They're more focused on the Rams going to Detroit, Tyreek going to Kansas City. McCarthy going back to Green Bay. This one doesn't have a storyline perspective like that. I mean, Doug McDermott is a Pittsburgh guy, but it's really not a storyline perspective except for the fact of just two franchises that have kind of clashed heads a lot in recent years, and nothing else besides the fact that it's just going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game in some crappy football weather. So it should be a good one. Sunday at 1 o'clock. I think that's all I got. I'll probably come on here a couple more times after the season's over. Let's say the Steelers keep winning. I'll keep making some preview episodes. They lose. There's going to be a lot more off-season content starting to flow through here on Party Chat Sports. Official prediction. Buffalo 20, Steelers 14. That's my official prediction. Comment down below what you think the score is going to be. A little bit of an emotional hedge here. Maybe I'm gonna predict one way, and you're catching my drift. So Steelers Nation, man, playoff games. This is what we're here for. So enjoy it. Hope the game goes well. Hope you all enjoy the game. Stay safe out there in those conditions. If you're going to be at the game, or just don't go outside. It's cold and windy out there. So playoffs are here, baby. Here we go. Stairway to 7. Let's get it.